We're here today talking about how to create and deliver engaging online presentations. And I have a special guest today. His name is Rob Jolles, and he literally wrote the book on doing presentations and seminars. So he's here to tell us about how online presentations differ from in-person presentations. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do to make sure that you get great quality video in your online presentations?
Sure. And I want to backtrack a little bit. I guess I did write the book on training. This online training, virtual training, it's kind of like the Wild West right now. And we are learning day by day, and technology is shifting week by week. So it's real interesting to try and tackle this kind of brave new world of virtual delivery and virtual communication. But to answer your question, I think it all begins by kind of creating the right environment. We've tried to create a nice environment for this particular video. So one of the first things I'm trying to do and get at that graininess you spoke of, or people freezing on screen, is we have to kind of welcome an old pal. And the old pal is that Ethernet cable. And I got to tell you, I thought we were done with the Ethernet cable. When I found mine, I literally had to wipe the dust off of it. But that Ethernet cable is becoming important now, because if you can, one of the first things I recommend is try and get a direct connection to that router. That's going to let's get you off the Wi-Fi. Not that Wi-Fi is terrible, but when we're communicating, particularly if you've got more than a dozen people on the call, maybe you've got 15, 20, 50, 100 people, we don't want to lose our connection. We don't want to get that graininess that you spoke of. So step one is, let's make sure that if we can, we go direct from that computer or that webcam straight to the router. That's going to help us with the internet connection and get us looking a little bit better. Now, that's step one. Step two is we're going to have to make sure that we've got the right equipment. And we've all kind of been getting away with the little dot on our laptop, or what kind of came with our computer. And quite frankly, when I started talking to my clients and said that I'm putting together a program for you on how to communicate more effectively with your clients or with key employees or people, immediately there was pushback going, "Hey, we've been doing a lot of online communication for years now. We have all our team meetings online." Well, that's all well and good, and you keep having those team meetings online. If you're talking about having an important conversation with a key customer or an individual, we got to stop thinking that this is some sort of online meeting. So one of the things that I'm recommending that you do is, have everything on hand. I can wander around and go get things when I'm dealing with an internal conversation. I want to make sure I have my pen on hand. I want to make sure if I got an open document, that's on hand. I want to make sure I've got everything as close to me as possible, so I'm not wandering around during this conversation. Because one of the things you're going to see is that, and we'll talk about this perhaps later, is that time really flies in an online conversation. And so just those few seconds of wandering around, we lose the people that we're talking to. So we'll make sure that we take care of that. We want to get rid of as many distractions as we can. So Jeremy, you see right now we've got a nice little area here and some nice books and things like that. But in a lot of our offices where much of this communication is going to take place, we've got all kinds of distractions back there. And you don't really realize them because you've been either on the phone or face-to-face with your client. Well, now they are peering into your office, and those distractions become multiplied. So it's time to kind of clean up that background, get rid of the distractions. And let me say one other thing. I think, and this is kind of a tweener, I'm one who actually likes props a little bit. And by a prop, I mean I kind of like having a cup of coffee or a cup of tea when I'm having an important conversation with another individual. I would do that if we were face to face. How many of us, when we're not having, let's say, lunch with another person, say, "Hey, let's meet and have a cup of coffee"? Because a cup of coffee tends to ease the conversation a little bit. Well, why aren't we having virtual cup of coffee more? And I mean an actual physical cup of coffee. I think it will not only calm you down, it may very well calm your client down or that important person you're talking to. So we can call that a prop. I'm actually truth be told, not a huge coffee drinker. But with my clients, I find myself these days having a lot more cups of coffee.
So Rob, that's a really great tip on the internet cable there. My laptop actually doesn't have one, so since I watched one of your webinars that you do, I've actually been thinking about going out and getting a USB connector to get an Ethernet cable for my laptop since it doesn't have a port. But that actually leads us into the next piece, which is what kind of equipment should people have? I mean, what's the difference? What do we really need to make a really high quality presentation?
Yeah, and that's a great question and I like the high quality presentation. Again, we're not talking about an internal conversation. I really do think we need to step up the game, and right now, as I say, it's kind of rough out there finding equipment. But even the Ethernet question you just posed to me, my laptop doesn't have an Ethernet connection, but my docking station does. So I actually would recommend that we might want to start looking into some docking stations. That'll allow us a bigger monitor so that when we're handling clients, and maybe more than one, we've got a little bit more vision on them. Two, it's going to take care of that Ethernet situation that you just recommended.
Yeah, and I think we've got some clips of your setup actually that we could show some of the viewers.
Right. And I'll tell you, as you're looking at some of these clips, you might not see, but tucked down below, you won't see my laptop. You're going to see a big monitor up there. Below is where all my connections are, right into that laptop, Ethernet, printer cable, monitor cable, all that, because my monitor is not a USB cable. It's a monitor cable, HDMI, all that. So I know that cameras are in scarce supply. I'm wondering about docking stations, and if they're not, I would jump on one. But let's get at that question you asked about the equipment. Okay, one, I think we have to step up the camera. And I know that what we've got on our laptops are decent cameras, but we can get a little bit better, a little bit more HD in there, increase that camera a little bit. But virtual communication is not going away. The world has woken up and said, listen, I would love to be in front of my buddy Jeremy here, but if I can't, a Zoom call, a Skype call is going to be a whole lot better than a phone call. So it makes sense to really get yourself a better camera. I happen to like Logitech cameras because there's a whole variety of Logitechs. So one, let's go with a better camera. Two, as they say, audio is king. Let's step up the mic a little bit. And that can get a little bit tricky. A particular mic that I like, and you'll see I'm not alone, I happen to like Yeti mics. That's Y-E-T-I, Yeti mics. And I like them. You can get a Yeti mic for under $100. I like them because they have an actual audio jack that comes out of a Yeti. And that's nice if you want to run earbuds. So I know that a lot of us are used to big headsets and the mic swinging in front. But I think that's a good gaming solution. I'm not so sure that's the solution when we're in front of our camera and we want to be able to emote and show our facial expressions. So camera, audio, and third, lighting. We got to pay attention to the lighting. We paid attention to lighting here when we were getting together for this. So I will tell you that something as inexpensive as a ring light can help you out. Ring lights you'll see, and they're plentiful online, right around $100, maybe with a stand a little bit more. Particularly actually effective with smartphones. Ring lights love a smartphone inside them. So you're going to see that, but don't be confused by it. Actually, a ring light will do just fine. You'll notice when you look at some of the equipment that I have, that I actually run lights that clip onto my desk. I think the big thing here is that we want to be able to add warmth to that light and not just make them so bright that we're blown off camera. So 1, 2, 3, last thing, and then we'll leave equipment is we want to make sure that we get that laptop, if that's what you're using, up. So books will do it, but there are actually some pieces, and we'll put them in this video at the bottom, that will show you little things that you can actually fix onto your laptop that'll raise it up. We got to get out of the business of showing our nostrils, folks. Nobody wants to see this, particularly in a Jolles nose. So if we bring it up and we get nice and eye level to that camera, now we've got equipment and helping us out. And do understand that there are budget moves and higher end moves, sit-stand desks, things like that, which are great. And if you're going to go sit-stand, Veridesk, of course, is the leader. I happen to have a Winston. That's the one you'll see in the video of me. But we want to be eye level. And if you're presenting, you want to be out of this chair and up. So you're going to need to get that up more than a couple of books. But hopefully it helped us out with equipment a bit.
Rob, thanks so much. Those are some great tips on the type of equipment we need to do high quality online presentations. One thing I'll add to that is you could also use something like a lavalier mic like we're using here in this video. These are actually Rode mics. I have the Smart Lav, which connects directly into your smartphone, but I have an adapter to connect to our wireless system. And Rob is using just the standard Rode lavalier mic. So those are another great option on top of the Yeti. And you're spot on with those webcams. I bought the best Logitech webcam I could probably 10 years ago. Now I'm actually looking for another one, especially as I get more into this online communication, and I'm actually using video to do proposals for my clients now. So that's really important. But because I bought the best one that I could at the time, I'm still able to use that today with reasonable quality. So Rob, thanks again for helping us to make this video. And to our viewers out there, you should stick around for the next video, which is going to be all about how to look good on camera, whether that's Zoom or Skype or any other online tool or webinar that you're putting together. Rob, thanks just one more time. I love having you on. Always love talking to you. You give me some great inspiration.
Thank you.
And if other people want to follow you or if they want to reach out, where can they get your contact information? How do they get in touch?
Well, we have this thing called a website. It's a fascinating little piece of internet knowledge there, but actually JOLLES.com. There you'll see all the things that we do, ways to contact me if you'd like. You can sign up for something that I call a blarticle, not a book, not an article, it's a blarticle. And I write those every other week. I've been doing it for 11 years. And you'll also see, not on the website, but I have something I just launched recently called Pocket Size Pep Talks. My venture into podcasting, I'm fairly new at it, but I think you'll love them if you get there. And so please drop by.
Awesome. And if you enjoyed this content, show Rob some love, give him a thumbs up, hit that button below, or subscribe to this channel. That lets us know that we're giving you the right kind of content. I'll go ahead and drop the links that Rob mentioned in the description below, along with the link to my website so you can ask any additional questions. And you can always check out some of the other videos in this series or the other videos on our channel, which we'll put links to here. Thanks for watching. Until next time.